They kick to the left of screen. 1 week to the really big one, but the stakes are so high here, aren't they? They really are. Can the Kangas do it again, as they have in the last 2 years on this very night? Or will the Demons break some new ground? The first time in 12 years, the second time in 35, and go all the way to the grand final. The first 5 minutes will tell a tale here. And Spider just got over White on the opening bounce, and they come from everywhere, and there will be a ball out. And where is Neitz, by the way?
Neitz is lined up at full forward for the Demons. Mick Martin's got him, and we've got Jeff Farmer opposed to Byron Pickett just in the goal square as well. So they're putting their two heavy hitters in terms of potency right in the goal square.
Kangaroos, renowned fast starters. The Demons, renowned fast finishers. Now, an umpire not on the ball has picked out a free kick here. He's come in from a long way out of the square, and it's going to go to Walsh of Melbourne. Kick is well smothered by Harvey. Socket off the ground. Kangaroos going to the left of screen, but it's going to be chopped off quickly. That was Woewodin, who'll be looking for a big night. He's got Grgic on the centre wing region. Archer comes in from the side and smashes into the pack. Pike tries to go through. The hand pass came out from Schwarz. It was a little loose for Liancelli. He bends it round the body. The danger zone as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. Into the forward pocket region it goes with McDonald. And he takes it to the line as Neitz is down. Behind play, he's close to the 50 line. He was in this pack. We called Archer coming in from the side. Neitz, as you can see, at the back going down. Still in the hands of the trainers.
Oh, that's not too serious. It's just one of those ones that takes your wind away for a little while.
Farmer, still Farmer. The handball finds Uze, the little giveaway. The kick by Phoebe to the goals is a behind. Archer was good, wasn't he, in that contest a moment ago, as he was last week.
You'd have to send out the runner to Cameron Bruce as well on the one where he collided with Neitz, because he peeled off him and came across as the third man up. And if he does that regularly, he'll win the ball through the air.
David King unloads and gets it out towards Spider Burton. McDonald pushes forward. Back to Phoebe, so a couple of early touches for the veteran. He's got Farmer. A couple of kicks away. The Wizard. About 80 metres from goal. Hooks it a bit. Martin's in the box seat with McCartney. It's a poor kick from Farmer. Missed the lot, and McCartney's got it in the back pocket. Goes short and finds Pickett.
Pickett does well from the defensive 50, but he just chips up towards centre wing and finds McKernan. Dearly looking for a boom game. Corey McKernan kicks up towards the half-forward line. The diving mark. It's going to be paid and John. Craig Scholl looks towards half-forward. Up towards the 50. Carey, 1-2 grabs. Harvey off the ground. They're inside 50. Pressure now on White. He has it and loses it. Walsh tackles high. It's going to be a free kick for the Kangaroos. He took David King a little too high, and King is going to have a set shot inside 50.
Well, he was a big goal kicker a couple of weeks ago, David King. Very quiet last week. He does run forward particularly well. He nearly got the ball first time when he ran forward and the ball was kicked off the ground. This time he just runs in, slides at the ball, and just a little bit indiscriminate with the left arm. Walsh over the shoulder. 26 goals for the season, and he's been fairly accurate.
At this point in time, he's matched up by Powell, and I don't know if they've run that close to each other. Both pretty hard at it, but they don't man up all that hard.
David King playing in his 20th final. Wayne Schimmelbusch holds the Roos finals record of 29 games. Here's King from 45 metres. Good start by the looks of it for the Kangaroos. King gets his first and the Roos.
It is a good start.
I would have said prior to that goal being kicked, the first couple of minutes was all Melbourne. They seem to be doing very well around the contest, but they do run well into space. They kept a nice open forward line. Craig Scholl, I like the placement of him up forward for the Kangaroos. It gives them a bit of structure, a good leading forward, and it just gives them a third option to sort of go along hand in hand with McKernan and Carey, the obvious big targets.
And David King kicked the first goal against Essendon.
You'd love 7 again tonight, wouldn't they? They would love to get a big return from him in terms of goals. So the Kangaroos get the first after the Demons have done most of it. Burton again wins it to Blakey. Blakey to half forward, belted away by Woewodin on Stevens. Handball back from Walsh to Phoebe. Third kick for him. Tries to straighten it to Powell. Just over his head in the end. Burton important. Simpson has to get down low. Didn't take control of it. Demons all over him. Little handball out to Stevens, also down low. It is a bit slippery. And over the top of it was Leoncelli, and it will be a ball up at half forward. The Demons slightly in attack.
Just the way Leoncelli gathered that one in, he's got exceptional hands below when the ball's on the ground.
Lee Colbert, as you could see, starting on the bench tonight for the Kangaroos. Here's the Wizard again. He's in the middle, gives it off to Rigoni. Mighty tackle from behind.
Gee, the closing speed of Abraham then was unbelievable. The last couple of yards he made up so quickly.
What a tackle. Rigoni looked away, and bang, they closed on him. Abraham from the middle of the ground towards Carey territory once again. Scholl is there as well, pushed in towards the forward pocket region. The Demon defence being tested early, but they're standing up okay. Leoncelli's got it on half-back, chips in towards the centre of the ground. Rigoni can go again. He's not claimed this time. Guy Rigoni kicks it up towards the 50. 1-2 by Schwarz. Not enough. Powell tries to soccer off the ground. Can't get it away cleanly. Mick Martin almost threw it out to Pike. Back towards Powell. Back to Martin. Martin towards Rigoni. Can't take the mark. Picked up by Woewodin. A high left footer. In towards centre half forward. A big pack of players. The Kangaroo defence standing firm through Archer.
They love it scrappy, the Kangaroos, and they're getting it at the moment, aren't they? Cochrane at half-back, who had an impact last week, kicks into the centre, not well directed. Ward gets across. The Demons can build here. Leoncelli on the end of it. Is he off? And he's might be a bit high for White. Archer's been pretty important in the early minutes. Robertson's little give to Phoebe. Phoebe just pops it up. Powell to get in front of Simpson. Can't quite. Simpson happy to run it over the line and a boundary throw in.
Yeah, and on the Archer-Bruce duel too, it looks like Bruce's job is just really to run Archer around. He hasn't stopped running all night so far, and really if that's going to work, the Demons have got to use Bruce on the lead. At the moment, they're just bombing up too long and too high, bringing Archer into the game.
Paul Roos down there on the boundary line. Robertson's handball. Walsh, good tackle by Harvey. Simpson maybe held on to, but good umpiring in the end. Got a toe poke away only as far as Robertson. He got rid of Shannon Grant. The handball to Leoncelli and ball. Tackled by Bell. He shrugged it off, Leoncelli, but the handball wasn't good. And Harvey's away, and so are the Kangaroos.
Harvey kicks towards David King. One hand. Couldn't quite complete the mark. The Demons have got the numbers. They're going to come away again. We're set for a big game of football here. McDonald gets caught, tries to get it out to White. White goes even further afield now towards Ward. He looks up towards the half-forward line. Inside 50. Archer again will come in from the side, but he couldn't take it. Robertson tried to get it out the back. Chance to pick it to clear. He gets caught. He took them on, and he should have been beat.
Has to be ball.
But he wasn't. Socket off the ground by the Wizard, and he's answered. The Wizard has the goal. But I tell you what, it should have been a free kick.
If ever there is justice in this game, that is a perfect example of it. I mean, Byron Pickett, when he gathered the ball, he saw a needle eye opening between the two defenders. He took them on and didn't dispose of the ball correctly. You can just see it here. He had plenty of time, and that's not an effective handball and should have been pinged, but in the end, the ball spilled out. And Jeff Farmer, well, that'll do wonders for his confidence.
So Farmer swooping on a Pickett mistake. He had Archer outside him too. Pickett decided not to go there. So the Demons in front. They've had most of it early. But the Kangaroos have looked dangerous when they've gone forward. Blakey gets inside that 50. Walsh took a chance on Harvey. Ingerson at the back, kicks the ball wide to the wing. Woewodin and Stevens and Pike, they all missed it. Robertson's had some important handles to Woewodin on the burst. Could run a bit further. Centering kick wants Bruce. Archer front spot. Martin at the back. Ever reliable Mickey. Hasn't played a lot of footy lately. In fact, 2 of the last 9 games only. Belts it wide to Blakey. What a remarkable story he is. Stops, props, fends off Schwarz, has some time, has plenty of time, and then decides to go long to half forward. McKernan takes a beauty, about 70 metres from goal. The paddock was set up. He gets himself on the wrong side. Can't quite get around Nicholson. He makes a bit of a meal of it, but he finds his man. It was fortuitous, but Bill was in the right spot at the right time.
Luck's of fortune. He didn't quite know what he was going to do, Corey. He wanted to get the ball on quickly because Craig Scholl was leading back to the goal square, but he got himself a little bit too close to Nicholson on the mark, and he realised the kick would have been smothered, so he thought, I'll try and run around him, but Nicholson didn't overcommit.
Bell from the pocket, hooks it a bit, and he's missed. So scores are level early stages of this preliminary final.
Let's have a look what they lay in wait here, the Kangaroos.
Stephen Phoebe comes in short. The only remaining demon from that debacle in 1988. There's McDonald towards centre wing.
Oh, Jeff White's pushed forward a bit here, Sam.
Peter Walsh. And there's his man. He's got him just outside 50.
He's got Powell out wide as well.
The lead is on from Schwarz. Can he get there in time? He can't, but it comes to Powell. Almost a ricochet. He eludes one, eludes two, snaps at goal, but goes right across the face and misses altogether.
That's just about a big enough danger sign to move Spider Burton away from the ruck, because the ball came in to play from the fullback kick in one direction, and Jeff White ran forward down the other wing, and he just got on the end of that kick as easy could be.
Mick Martin, 32 next week, being a grand player for the Demons. Speaking of grand players, what about this guy? Blakey, taken off the ball by Woewodin. And John Blakey, 34 years of age, 323 games, 24 finals. Sets them going to Archer. He looks towards half-forward. McKernan leads to the outer side. Goes on quickly because Carey's to the pocket in front of Ingerson. Taken high, Carey will hit the free kick. Tight angle, but within scoring range.
He had Anthony Ingerson in trouble a long way from home because he was leading back towards the goal square. Ingerson was trying to hang on to the jumper. Carey wrestled himself free, then led up the ground, and he just got caught a couple of yards off. He knew he was going to take the mark, so he said, I'll make him earn it and make sure there's plenty of contact.
Tell you what, if he hadn't put the hand to the back of the head, he might have just about done enough to spill that ball free.
Here's the All-Australian captain. 4 times club champion, 46 metres out. Oh, that is a kick of a champion.
Nice touch.
That is the kick of a champion.
Didn't try and kick the cover off that one. He knew that he just had to steer it right with enough firmness here. Watch him jump here. And it's that left arm that does the damage for the free kick. It looked like the body pressure on him was enough. That's probably what lost Carey control of the ball. And the kick, just watch it. He just steers that and holds it. What a player. Trying to break a tag here.
So Bell takes it. I think it was meant for Burton. Picked up by Simpson. Simpson a long bomb in towards full forward. Oh, waiting down his shoulder. Kangaroos have a goal.
You get to see that one again, Sandy. He actually pulls it back into the centre of the square by accident. I think if he just had got a clean fist on it and let it keep going in the same direction. Let's have a look at the free kick here. McDonald just trying to hang on to Bell. Jason, you called it was pretty soft.
Oh, shocking. Look, it was a 2-on-1 situation. Cochrane's trying to pick up Anthony McDonald. He went to pick up Peter Bell, and he was just trying to get clear.
One more goal, and it's the little nightmare that the Demons didn't want, isn't it? It's just the start that the Kangaroos got last week against the Hawks. The Demons have had plenty of it, but on the scoreboard it's 3-1, and Carey's been pretty active. Stevens scoops it out, and the Kangaroos will win again. And Harvey belts to full forward. McKernan's got it. Well, all the signs are there.
That's a brilliant mark. That was very, very good. He didn't look like he was in the right position, but he just used his body. He stretched the hips forward just to take Ingerson under the ball, and he does this very, very well and judges the flight best, takes it cleanly in the hands. And if he starts grabbing them, they're in trouble, the Demons.
So it's like they're taking on the blue-collar workers with some white-collar class, aren't they, at the moment? And puts the goal. McKernan's been good. Carey's been important. and the Kangaroos are 3 goals in front.
It's a bit similar to what the Kangaroos did to Hawthorn last week. They jumped them at the start and they opened up a very big break, and then we saw the Hawks try and run them down, and we're all sort of thinking the same thing tonight. Probably the Kangaroos need to have a decent break at halftime because we know the Demons will run on hard.
And the blokes that have got the goals are Scholl, Carey, McKernan and King. They've played a bit of footy between them, haven't they?
Well, Melbourne gave Carlton a start, didn't they? 3 quarters. And McKernan with Alistair Mickelson paying the penalty.
Free kick against Scholl. Out of screen, just to the left. I think it was for a bit of a touch on the back of the head of his opponent.
So Powell gives it to Schwarz.
Oh, good kick.
That is a good kick, and they need an answering, steadying goal. Their skipper can give it to them.
And that's all started by a good move from Neil Danaher. He just sent David Schwarz down to centre-half back.
McKernan raised his hand there to the box saying, I've messed up.
It was him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that.
Just with the couple of goals kicked by the Kangaroos, David Schwarz moved down to centre-half back to try and steady the ship, ran off, took the handball and delivered to the skipper, David Neitz. Good to see him getting into the game.
Big kick then for the captain, directly in front, 46 metres out. Melbourne wanting a steadier, wanting to stay with the Kangaroos, the reigning champions, but it's away to the left.
Well, the Kangaroos, when they put up their defensive zone at the other end, they had 14 men in. Let's have a look at what Melbourne do. Same again, 14 men in a zone, the 2 furthest out, just up on the outside of the square, and leaving it pretty open up the middle here.
17 points the margin. Robertson couldn't take the mark. Phoebe comes inside to White. He's 45 metres out. It's a high kick for goal. Coming back. Great goal by Jeff White.
Left it very open up the middle once they turned it over, Jason, and I went back to the middle. There was just a swarm of demons just running through there, Jeff White being on the end of it. The corridor's clear right now, and that's where they run through.
I thought Robertson was stiff not to get the free kick early, but there are very few ruckmen in the competition that have the skill of Jeff White. I mean, that is a drop punt around the corner that he bent back. Very few big men could actually pull that off.
Big goal by White.
There's 7 men in the back line now. The Demons, last time they pushed Neitz into the back line for the bounce. This time Schwarz is back there and they just run through on the play. He'll come through the screen here.
So Burton and White together, handball by Powell, then Burton pushes forward. Collins very hard at it, and then Woewodin's got hold of it now and decides to go long to fall forward. Can Farmer get a run at it? He's at the back. He got rid of Pickett. His little left foot is rolling through. It's a second goal to Farmer. It just kept tumbling away, didn't it?
I'll tell you what happened to Melbourne, Jason. You called that a lot of play early, and the Kangaroos were bottling up their forward line. What's actually happened, Melbourne have pushed men into their own back line now and freeing up their own forward line, and the Kangaroos have said, well, if they do that, we're going to man them up. So at the other end, when Melbourne are bringing the ball forward, it's just totally open.
Yep.
The ball bounces into space. There's room to move, room to run onto the ball. He's coaching exceptionally well here. He's imposing his will here, Neil Danaher.
He's been big, hasn't he? When he has been big, you look at that. Only Lloyd has kicked 7 goals in a match more times than Farmer this year. When he's on, he is so dangerous.
And you mentioned it before, Bruce. All the right players are coming into the game. The ingredients are there for a spectacular clash, aren't they?
Schwarz at the back of the square again.
2 early goals to Farmer. White wins it. Confident boosting start. Woewodin couldn't take it. Neither could Abraham. Powell at the bottom of the pack. Out it comes towards Uzebi. Only had it for a moment. Burton goes wide. The Demons have got the numbers. They have steadied. There's no doubt about that. Kick by Phoebe up towards half forward. Past Bruce it goes, and also Neitz. The hand pass back to David Neitz. Here's danger for the Kangaroos. Woewodin is 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. And has this kick to give Melbourne the lead.
Gee, I know that the Kangaroos have some wonderful fighting spirit, but we're going to see it tested unbelievably here if the Demons hit the front.
Has been a very consistent player. Hasn't missed a game this year, Shane Woewodin. And there you can see Junior written on his hands. Woewodin. Melbourne, the lead. They've got it. inside 50, as you can see, Melbourne dominating after the Kangaroos got away early on, 14-7.
Getting good run out of their back line too, the Demons. It's all with purpose.
Pike. Still with Pike. Did pretty well in the end. Tried to straighten up. Carey gets a crack at it. Down towards Scholl. Missed him. Woewodin's been so important, as he has all year. Collins and Cochrane. Well done, Cochrane. But it comes out to the Demons. They seem to have numbers everywhere. Grgic to McDonald. Gee, Neitz was terrific. Should have got a free kick. Schwarz should kick a goal. Lines him up. And does.
Friday night final, it's something that the Kangaroos have become used to in recent times, but they're not enjoying this at the moment. Just look at the tackle of Schwarz. He rips them apart, but the Kangaroos maintain possession through Stevens. His kick is poor. Ward couldn't take it. Eventually he does. Three grabs.
Quick stat, handball run to receives. Melbourne 27, Kangaroos only 5.
They call it Ward, it was Walsh who took it.
Melbourne player down behind play.
We'll keep an eye on him as play goes on.
Anthony McDonald.
McDonald is up. Pike has it on centre wing. Goes back towards Walsh and Co. That's where it came from. He was at the back. Rigoni at the front. Can't take it. Phoebe over the top. Rigoni goes again. Walsh comes clear with a hand pass. Now they can set it up to Leoncelli via Jeffrey White. Leoncelli, lovely kick. Beautiful. Neitz inside 50.
He lost Mick Martin in the mix there because the ball looked like it was going to go to the other side of the ground. And once Andrew Leoncelli straightened up, it really opened up the opportunity for Neitz to come back the other way. You just see him do a little bit of an arc there. And poor old Mick got caught watching the ball.
And just in the last 4 or 5 minutes, the Kangaroos a little mesmerised. Caught in the spotlight, maybe.
They've surged, the Demons, haven't they?
Here's Neitz, 51 metres out. Starting at left.
Johnson gets his first run, Roosie. And Clayton comes on for Capuano, so he wasn't out there very long. They're looking for a bit of a run. Gee, well done by Schwarz to Grgic. Check side goal. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They've kicked 5 consecutive goals here, the Demons.
I guess there's no need to use your left foot when you can kick a banana like that, is there? That looked to be an obvious situation to run out and kick it around the corner on your left, but he just felt confident enough to kick a little banana, and he did it beautifully.
They are just irresistible, this Melbourne midfield.
I tell you what they are doing at ball-ups and throw-ins around the pack. They're really blocking well for each other, the Demons midfielders, and that's allowing someone to run forward pretty much free. And a couple of times it's worked and paid huge dividends. Grgic on that occasion.
They come through in a wave, don't they?
Grgic gets his 9th goal for the season, and perhaps the most exciting.
They're winning the ball inside their own 52 20 times. Kangaroos only 7 at the other end.
15 points the margin. Wide again down towards Woewodin. Smashed clear. Dangerous time now for Clayton. He gets it off towards Cochrane. Kangaroos desperately want a goal before quarter time. And that's a strong mark. They're going to get the chance through Scholl to have a shot inside 50. Craig Scholl.
He's looked pretty dangerous. He's looked very dangerous up there for him. He just judged the ball better then. Pretty important kick this. He really needs this to steady the ship for the Kangaroos because they are under the pump big time.
Got the recall a fortnight ago. Dennis Pagan calling on his experience, and he's had plenty of that. This is his 20th final. 52 metres out. They struggle with the distance.
That's a beautiful kick.
Gets there. He gets there. Big goal for the Kangaroos. Big goal for Scholl. His second.
He's become a much maligned player in recent times, Craig Scholl. He seems to be the one that always bears the brunt of a poor performance. He's the one that's dropped or taken off the ground first. But he just judged it better there. He had a player in front, a player behind. He tracked the ball, kept his eyes on it at all time. And that's a very important kick from just outside the 50.
Size-wise, he's a good match-up against Collins. Collins listed at 186, Scholl is around the 190 mark, so he probably beat him in the air, but Collins is going to take some minding. He's been very good at running it out in the opposite direction too.
That's the good thing about Craig Scholl. He can play tall and short.
It's a bit of a shootout at the moment. You reckon that'd fancy the Demons long term, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's 6-5, but that was an important goal. Leoncelli out of the centre. A high ball. That was great courage. Terrific stuff, McCartney, to get back. Then swings it wide. Grant's been quite early, starting to work into it, pushing wide to McKernan and Carey. And Carey, I think, in the end was pretty happy. Throwing a kiss at somebody. I'm not sure who's caught it. All in good fun. All in good fun.
All of the Melbourne supporters, their members.
Good on you, Duck.
Good crowd. Probably about 55,000 here. And they're into it. Abraham running onto it. Phoebe was good. Still with Phoebe. I think Grant fancied himself. Actually, Phoebe was terrific, wasn't it?
Shannon Grant's actually Phoebe's direct opponent. They seem to be letting Grant just run up the field, and Phoebe's just hanging back.
Just a little one. Just throwing a little one.
Actually, Roosie, I saw that the last boundary kicking for the Demons. Grant ran up the middle by himself.
Every centre bounce too, Dermot. Grant's starting on the wing and Phoebe's starting right deep in defence. So it seems to be that they're happy to let him start on the wing or at half back and give him freedom up that part of the ground.
Phoebe's had 10 possessions in the first quarter so far, and Grant's only had one effective kick. Collins a bit stiff not to get the free kick. It comes out wide to Uze.
A good kick from Travis Johnston. Good to see him on the ground. There's a chance for the youngster again, and he does pretty well. Round the body goes to Woewodin. Pickett caught, taken to the line.
The matchups, Sandy, so I was just going to say the matchups are working very well for the Demons at the moment. You've got Grant with 1 possession, Harvey 3, and King only 1.
Throw in on right half forward. Waiting down is Grgic. Pickett there also. Martin over the top. Belted out of the pack. David King on the full. And the D's will get a chance through Peter Walsh to come back again.
So I reckon John Eales would have been happy with that one.
Going to say,
get a piece of it.
You're going to be really good to do that. Maybe even Andrew Mertens, the all-time champion.
Yes.
He would have liked the bounce just inside, though. Not to be. Walsh short to White.
Not scared to chop it around like that, are they? Just to try and break it up. They'll do it again here.
From the centre wing, they've got Grgic down to right half forward. He's now in towards half forward. Neitz, I think, gave us a bit of a nudge. And David Neitz will take the free kick. Or at least give it away. It goes to the outer side. Shane Clayton, who's on the ground, started on the bench. Clayton looks towards Pickett on the far side. Pickett a little bit of time. Well, he had time, he had it, and he lost it. And now Collins might make him pay. Hand pass over the top to Farmer. The Wizard looks in towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Uze.
She's got players streaming towards goal as well.
Just on 50, directly in front. 30 seconds remaining for the quarter.
She was an important turnover. I mean, Pickett, he was trying to get free to deliver the long ball to Winston Abraham, who'd broken at half forward, but this could be a very, very costly turnover.
Well, they'll get the journey. He can kick it, this kid.
He's been a goal kicker for the Demons this year, 36 to his name. The long left footer is taking it just to the right, a little too far.
Let's see on this kicking, Sandy, if they concede Shannon Grant again to run up the middle.
Shannon Grant's just been taken off, Dermot. He's actually been replaced by Makepeace, so I don't think he'll be getting this kick out.
It'd be a miracle.
Pickett's kick, good one to Blakey. Blakey wide to Clayton. Clayton finds McKernan.
Still got Abraham loose.
But beaten by the siren. What a terrific first quarter. The Demons looked good early but didn't score. The Kangaroos then kicked 4-1, and then Melbourne kicked 5 unanswered, but the Kangaroos got an important late one. So well set up. The Demons in front though here at quarter time. They'd be pretty happy. They lead by 10 points. It's 6-5 to 5-1.
10 points the margin as we go into the second quarter. Jeff White setting himself. McKernan going up even earlier, off to Anthony Stevens. Quiet early.
That's the extra number.
Kick drops short the Woewodin, but here's claim. Rigoni's able to give it away towards Walt, but there's been a whistle. Back it will come, and the Kangaroos will get a chance for an early start in this term.
Poor talk by his teammates there. Should have let him know how hard it was for him, how hot he was.
Makepeace puts them inside 50. The lead was on, but dropping into Into the hole was Andrew Leoncello, who's got Woewodin drifting wide to the other side. He was interfered with. Woewodin, the free kick.
Good decision.
Gee, Jeff White's working hard.
Comes inboard towards Phoebe. Look out because David King's at the back, but he doesn't get there in time.
They'll hold him up.
Phoebe coming wide. He's got Peter Walsh. Walsh can run in. He could almost have a shot if he wanted to, but he knows the Wizard is lurking in the area. Can't take it. Robert comes towards Pike. Tries to chop his way clear. Then kick wide towards the half-back line. Carey a long way down. He's claimed by Travis Johnson. Pushed off the ground by Cochran towards the line. Walsh won't get there in time. And with Makepeace, we've got a throw in.
So that
Walsh.
kick by Walsh, it really needed to wait further over to the other side of the ground. It made Jeff Farmer stop in his lead.
Just in the attacking zone. Martin might even contest this. Bounces nicely into the breadbasket for Mick. Then he kicks wide towards centre wing. Taken over the line after some jostling between Phoebe and Makepeace.
$11 possessions for Phoebe. So he's had a great start. The Melbourne veteran, McKernan. Now there's a free kick, I think, to McKernan for White hanging on to him. And the Kangaroos will come back.
You just have to grab Jeff White's body every time with the boundary line throws. You've got to lay body on body and try and out-muscle him. He likes to get a clean jump at it.
McKernan, terrible kick, just floats it, but Abraham's got it. No, he hasn't in the end. Didn't take it. The bell handle. Abraham high tackle. He did duck. They've got him. Now he's going to play the free kick. Gee, it was a late call.
Well, I reckon he thought, I missed the first one. I've got an opportunity here to make it. I mean, he did duck the first time, but if you do get decent, solid contact at the head, we have a look. Well, it was more the body than the arms that took him, but then maybe it was the leg coming in.
Perhaps
A little bit dangerous as he slid in Walsh.
It was an awfully long time. I timed it in the slow-mo.
Well, Ward it was, not Walsh.
just think that
we hope it was the second one then.
at the end of the night, if the Kangaroos are to win, they've got to kick all of these, you think, don't they? They just can't miss these. The Demons missed a few in the opening term. Abraham careful with it. It's a good kick and he's got it.
With the Kangaroos getting the start in this second quarter they wanted. Powell goes wide. He's probably looking towards Leoncello territory. Gets another chance himself. Can poke the Demons up towards half forward. Uze, the left footer, the loping left footer to the Wizard. That's exciting football out of the middle.
He's going to do a bit of umpiring as well, Jeffrey.
Well, that worked out beautifully. Once the ball skewed off the side of the boot and ended in Adem Uze's hands. And as soon as it hit Adem Uze, like a shot, Jeff Farmer from the goal square, he said, I've got space in front of me, I'll lead straight at him. And the ball got drilled in beautifully.
How good is that camera shot of the incoming ball?
But number 3, the Wizard goes for goal and gets it.
Johnston's hands were good. Woewodin again, just knocking up, getting possessions. The high bomb, Neitz was underneath it. The big fist from the back. Ragoni stood and waited to Powell. Still with Powell. He got rid of one, shrugged a second, loads it up, kicks it poorly and misses from behind.
Gee, that's a bad option from Stephen Powell. He had two players. Farmer was one of them, who's just pointing all of a sudden to the space that he was in, and Brent Grgic was the other. As we see a few of the Carlton gentlemen in Steve Kernahan amongst others, having a captain cook.
With David Parkin there and Cole Kinnear and Wayne Britton's here and John Worsfold. Clayton's kick to half-back to Makepeace. Now can the Kangaroos get some structure going and build up? They're certainly close enough on the scoreboard, but the feeling here is that the Demons are a couple of goals away from breaking them. But this is a resilient team who've been here so often. Stevens helps out. Harvey slaps it forward. King was clever. Abraham's handball to Cochran. Kicked one last week. Handball dreadful. Behind Pickett. Back to Cochran. Fends off. Handball okay. Carey, left foot in the pocket. Measures it and delivers again. As he does. No. Yes, he does. As he's done so often.
Still a long way from home. Grgic, penetrating kick towards the Wizard and Neitz. Martin was there. Neitz takes it off the pack. He bends it back, but not enough, and one behind.
And White coming off for a spell too.
3 behinds to the skipper.
He's taking some minding though. They've got the big fella on him, Mick on him.
Pickett to himself. Martin taking care of Neitz to give Pickett a bit of a run. Well, he's going to have to be good. Well done by Neitz.
Oh, look at the players in the goal square.
Woewodin is off. He bends a big left footer in towards Grgic, who gave a nudge. Palmer was in front, couldn't take the mark. Martin on the last line of defence, comes away to the outer side.
Doesn't get it all that far, but Makepeace read it pretty well. A good tackle on him. Woewodin's been absolutely brilliant. His handball, well read by Harvey. And this is a big turnaround to Stevens. Stretches him out a bit. Gets back onto the left. Finds some territory. He's got Bell wide. He goes out wide. Little Bell can run on and kick a goal. The Kangaroos could be in front. It looks all right. He's done it. They're in front. It's all square, I should say. I'll tell you what, Byron Pickett is feeling a lot better than he was 1 minute ago.
Well, you just get the feeling with Byron, he knows that he's got his hands full with Farmer, so when he does get the ball himself, he's trying too hard to make things happen. He's just got to play the percentages a little bit more. But in the end, there was some great running. Brent Harvey winning the ball in the middle, shot the handball out, and then Peter Bell snuck forward, and he's a very good finisher.
I've got to say on those kick-ins, apart from the very first one, the 6 points thereafter, Byron's gone short of the pocket or tried to play on through the pocket.
Kangaroos' accuracy keeping them in this game. 8 goals won to 7-7. Twelve and a half minutes remaining. McKernan beaten. White and Woewodin. Dangerous. Woewodin's kick down towards the half-forward line. The ball runs it in towards the pocket. He keeps it in play. David Neitz, and he flicks it around the body in towards full forward. Farmer and Co was there. Travis Johnson was at the back. Couldn't take it cleanly. McCartney takes on about 4 of them. Powell goes to ground. Grgic scouting. Powell comes up with it. Caught by Clayton. Travis Johnson tries to storm through. He is well held. And umpire Brian Sheehan comes in for a bounce.
Looks like Cochrane running away from this scrimmage. Getting set to be replaced by somebody. Jeff White taking a breather. That's a big pack of players, Sandy.
Let's see who can take advantage of it from the throw-in. It is the Wizard. 42 metres out. Away goes the Wizard! Number 4 to Farmer.
Well, Dermot, you made mention that there was a big pack forming, and the best way to lose your opponent is in heavy traffic, and that's all Jeff Farmer did. He led up from behind the pack. He was on the goal side of the pack. He took off around the top, and you can just see Byron Pickett. He got caught amongst all the players, and Farmer had all the time in the world to straighten up and kick a goal.
See that once again? The first push he actually conceded. He said, he can go. Yep. He thought, I'll try and win the ball rather than be responsible for my man. Gets caught out again. There's another goal against him.
Change has been made.
Isn't Farmer answering the critics in a big game tonight? He's kicked 4 goals. He's been outstanding. Burton on the ball. Capuano's having a run as well. The Kangaroos have kicked a free kick against it. Who is it against? Who's got possession? It's a Kangaroo free. No, it's a Demon free kick, is it?
Troy Simmons.
They're playing 2 on Jeff Farmer now. King is actually facing him, and Pickett staying 20 metres out further in front.
Walsh's kick found his mark in Neitz. I was going to say the Kangaroos have kicked 4 of the last 6, even with the Wizard goal, but Melbourne with a chance here.
David King's gone back onto Jeff Farmer, and the man that was picking him up, Guy Rigoni, is now being attended to by Byron Pickett.
Neitz' goal, Neitz. He's kicked 3 behinds. The other captain of the other end has kicked 2 goals. He's kicked it beautifully. He's kicked it home. Scoring so freely, that's the problem, isn't it?
You just get the feeling Melbourne are a little bit more methodical about the way they create goals, whereas when it gets down the other end, they have to fight tooth and nail and produce something out of the ordinary to kick a goal, the Kangaroos. But with Melbourne, they're dominating in the midfield and they're delivering the ball to their forwards.
They've actually spaced apart the Kangaroos back line now. They've worked it to their advantage.
12 points the margin as David Neitz breaks the ice. He's got 1-3. Simmons has done pretty well since coming on. His combining with Woewodin has been impressive. He goes again. This time Woewodin finds Uze up towards the half-forward line. Neitz was a target. Grgic does the roving. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Away comes Archer to Bell on the outer side. Peter Bell is clear. Kangaroos need something here. Bell's away with a couple of ounces. From half back, in towards half forward, in towards the 50. Smashed away to the line.
No, it's a free kick, and a deserved free kick. Hanging on to the jumper.
He was, hanging on. Scholl tried desperately to take the mark. He's got the ball. Tight angle. And a long way out. Be kicking from just outside 50.
13 Melbourne players inside that defensive 50.
Scholl kicked 2 in the first quarter. A high ball into the square. Big pack of players. Waiting at the back was Powell. Defends towards the half-back line. Pike gets a B-grade bounce, but he's not the only one. So too did Rigoni. Comes towards Pickett. He gets another chance. A high ball in towards half-forward. Makepeace going back in the pack. Couldn't take the mark. Again, the Demon defence standing firm. Stephen Powell. And eventually, we will see a throw-in 10 metres around, with Melbourne leading by 12 points.
Anthony Stevens got an important touch there. They were away, the Demons. He just got a finger to the Powell kick. Ingerson at the back, down to Harvey. Still with Harvey to Bell. He's got him. Probably can't kick a goal from here, Bell. Plays on. He can from here, though. 40 metres out, and he does. It's like the old prize fighter.
Yeah.
They're not going to go down without a really big fight.
They just went to sleep, the Demons' defence. There were 3 players around him. Obviously, none of them were his direct opponent, because they all turned around and started heading for their opponent. And in the end, he had space to play on and kick, because he was out of range. He wouldn't have been able to kick it from just outside 50.
Team lifting goal there by Peter Bell for the Kangaroos. He's now got 2, both in this quarter. 9 goals won. You can't question their accuracy.
He's had about 10 touches or 8 or 9 touches this quarter now, Peter Bell.
The hero of the Melbourne comeback against Carlton comes onto the ground. Brad Green replacing Grgic. Simmons in ruck.
And he's done pretty well, Simmons. Up against Spider Burton. It's Burton who wins it, but Woewodin has been taken out of the middle. Again, it is no exception, down towards the 50. The race is on, and Neitz leads in the race. Got a quick hand pass to keep the ball in play. Here's the man you're talking about, fresh on the ground. Green gets a high ball. He wants the wizard. Everyone wants the wizard, but not to be this time, as Stevens defends on the last line. He goes towards Clayton on the outer side. Got someone going past, and guess who? Peter Bell again, in towards the centre of the ground. Simpson thought about going on with the job. Players streaming down the ground. Simpson kicks to half forward. Burton sets himself. The big man can't take it. Poked it down in front towards Makepeace. Now Burton's got to go against the smaller men, and he's not equal to the task as Leoncelli comes towards Johnston. Johnston is away. Melbourne is away. Johnston bounces his way through the middle. Gets past McCartney. Spears in the pass. It's going to be okay. Will come back again. They're trying desperately to set something up, and finally they've got it on the 50. Powell, 45-degree angle, chipping away. We'll have to go again. That was a little too short and not too pretty. Stevens couldn't take it. Leoncelli slaps it back to Powell. Powell from 52 metres. A long bomb by Powell. It's a goal. It's a goal.
Landry Leoncelli is not an absolute hero in the eyes of every football follower in this country, but I'll tell you what, he is one of the best midfielders going around. Sure hands, and his deft little touch on it after this smother. Watch Leoncelli come in and just tap it back to Powell. It's not a possession, it won't go in any stat book. Watch this.
He just had the line of the ball. It wasn't going to get past either way. Yep. And Stephen Powell, he finally got it right second time around. he would have loved to have got a second opportunity at that after messing up the first short kick.
Blood rule on Rigoni here. Yep, that won't go in the book as any stat to Leoncelli, but it was worth a goal.
You can just see when he knew if Stevens gets by, they're away. So he said, OK, if I don't get the ball, I'll get the player. He put himself right in line with the ball and the player, and either way, he was going to come out on top.
Woewodin's taken it out of the centre 3 times in this quarter. It's 6-1 the Demons in this term. Cameron Bruce comes on.
Lee Colbert not having been on the ground, you wonder whether that's a set plan by Dennis Pagan, perhaps to bring him on in the second half. He hasn't seen the football, hasn't seen the surface yet.
He's been sluggish, hasn't he, over the last month with his foot pace. So perhaps to get the absolute heat run out of the game and then use him in the second half, perhaps, or is he?
Inside 50s in this term, 12 to the Demons, 7 to the Kangaroos. in this quarter, but it's a 12-point ball game. It was 10 points at quarter time, so North still hang on here. Watch for Woewodin, he's been the man, got his hands on it. Burton slapped it, Walsh, Bell, they're a bit high on him, and then Woewodin comes in high. The free kick to Simpson.
Pagan's got 7 men in his back line on that bounce, so he's turned the tables a little bit, freed it up in Kangaroos forward line.
Simpson, he wants Carey. Ingerson was able to work him under it, and then Ward, Abraham runs him down a bit. Ward's kick out wide. I think it's down the ground, is it?
Yep.
Against Abraham?
Yeah, dragged him down after he kicked. It was half in the kick. He's a bit stiff there, Winnie.
So it's a Melbourne kick to Green at centre wing. Demons 17 shots to 10. They lead by 12 points.
Big clog up in front of them here, Bruce. This will be a valuable possession, the next one.
Martin's there. McCartney was at the back of Neitz. Front spot was Clayton. His leg speed could be important tonight. Kicks to McKernan. Should be a free kick. Nicholson's all over him, and Corey McKernan's got it.
Kicked 1 goal in the first quarter. 75 out. Looks towards half forward. Big pack of players. Let's smash down. Melbourne defence has been pretty good and pretty miserly. They can set something up again. Simmons tries to get the hand pass away. Successful towards the Wizard. He goes wider to Uze. If it's sit for Adem Uze. He's got Liancelli screaming for it, but he elects to go longer towards Neitz. Martin is there, and Mickey only wants one thing.
It's a mark.
That's the boundary line, but he's juggled that. Maybe the second grab was over the line.
He's claiming it, Mickey, but I don't think he pulled it in time. Might have been a bit stiff not to be paid the mark. We see him, he affects the spoil here with the swinging right arm. Does he get it inside the boundary line? That's the question mark that would make it a mark.
Oh,
that's a mark.
I reckon it's a mark.
Yep.
Well, he might get a chance again. Pike brings it towards the half-back line. Abraham got an awful bounce. An opportunity opens for Walsh. Takes on one, beats them, gives it away quickly once again. Daniel Ward goes for goal and misses to the left.
Gee, broke that open with pace, didn't he? That is a real worrying sign for the Kangaroos if somebody splits you open like that.
There's a mix attempted mark. Well,
got to pay that.
yeah, that was a mark.
Wrong spot to see it, the umpire. Now, Byron Pickett, when he was kicking in, he kicked it to himself and played on through the pocket every time. King likes to play on himself, and if he does it as well, you know that it's a bit of a direction. There you go.
And he does. Ignoring Peter Bell. Comes longer towards Spider Burton, and that's a very difficult one for him. He may pay a high price here. Cameron Bruce flicks it back in towards half forward. Clean bowls a couple. The Wizard wanted it desperately, but it wasn't to be. Martin Pike, if it sits, can go wide to McCartney. He does so too, and they'll get out of trouble.
Simpson at half-back. Delivers. Wants Clayton or Makepeace. Clayton against the flow did pretty well. Then got a high one, no free kick, and the Demons will get the free kick at centre half-back.
He did get a clip then, Clayton. Got one across the top of the head. He's a little bit stiff not to receive.
Woewodin got it in short. He's just stacking up, getting possessions, and then good long kick. Neitz has got it. Martin wins the ground.
Bruce, you talk about Woewodin.
Neitz is on, right to the goal square. Uze's got it, and Uze kicks the goal.
You talk about the possessions. Woewodin, Liancelli and Phoebe have 43 between them.
So we see David Schwarz coming off for a spell, but you often wonder how a player finds himself in the goal square with no one else for 30 or 40 odd metres, and that's what's happened. Mick Martin slipped over. David Neitz slips up and he goes, hang on a minute, Adem Uze's down there and there's no one with him. Cooey just got lost in traffic. He snuck down there and no one called a defender back to pick him up.
And now 8 Melbourne players have kicked goals. They have just one multiple goal kicker. That's the Wizard. He has 4.
Lee Colbert's gone to full forward and Spider Burton's come off. So Colbert to full forward.
Thanks, Roosie. Centre break 6-2 in favour of Melbourne this quarter. 11-8 plays 9-1. McKernan on the ball. Could have given a decent old shove.
He's been very good, Troy Simmons, since he's come on. Been particularly good in the centre bounces.
Here goes Simmons. To half forward, towards Neitz. In front, 2
Oh, that's a mark.
Not being paid, he's called to play on. He does, he goes wide to the outer side. Got the call. Stevens locks it up on Adem, and umpire Gavin Dorr decides that he will take charge.
Sandy, when they lost to the Kangaroos in round 17, the Kangaroos kicked 11 goals in the second quarter, but only 3 for the rest of the match.
The crowd just saw the replay of the David Neitz mark, and they don't like the decision either.
Oh, that was clever by Johnston. Very, very clever, and deserved a better finish. Not to be. One behind. Uze busy.
Gee, that scoreboard suddenly looks lopsided. That's 11-9 to 9-1. 20 shots to 10.
Well, they've doubled the entrances inside 50.
Kick it short. He's got a couple wide. Trying to set up Blakey to Archer. So they haven't got far, have they, the Kangas? Archer to Blakey, still inside the defensive 50. They've handled it a lot, which is not the way they've played over the last 8 seasons. Blakey's high ball, Carey, well done. Ingerson has to sit and wait. Clayton to make peace. A hot handball. Woewodin read it better than Stevens, and then hooks it back to full forward. Get a bouncing ball. Martin, interestingly, didn't take it. Held it away. They had the numbers, the Kangas, but Mickey wasn't confident enough to take it.
That's self-induced pressure. The ball's come in so many times. I think that's the 17th, 18th time it's come into their forward line this quarter, as opposed to 8.
Did you see Johnny
Yep.
Blakey give him a mouthful?
And I think Mickey might have just said, well, no one told me I was clear.
Well, words to that effect.
Here's Neitz. Well, I don't think that travelled a quiet distance.
They travelled 2, Sandy, 2 metres at least, not quite 10. He was a game man claiming that. Look at that spectator going berserk.
Oh, he's one spectator I wouldn't argue with.
You talk about bringing it inside 50. Woewodin has been wonderful in that department. He's looking at 7 times at the moment. Neitz has got to beat a couple on the outer side. We're counting down to half-time. Holbert, as you can see, on the ground, still looking for his first touch.
He's had 10 possessions, Woewodin, for this quarter.
Leoncelli plays on. Up towards half-forward again. Melbourne have the numbers. Neitz starting to dominate. David Neitz on the outer side.
He's running out of steam, Mick Martin. He just can't go with him, and Neitz is sensing it now, and he's just pushing in for the kill now.
Comes inboard, Alistair Nicholson. Plays on quickly. I think Melbourne's coming in for the kill. Ward flicks it in towards half-forward. Powell, off the pack he goes, and he kicks a goal! Now they're setting it up. Powell gets his second, and just maybe the banks of the old dam are about to burst.
And I'll tell you what created that goal, and Stephen Powell acknowledged it. You can see Russell Robertson in screen there leading for in the pocket. He comes from the pocket and he makes a contest here when it looks like it's going to be a mark to McKernan, and he comes, he pops one high, but he forces the ball down to ground. Stephen Powell puts himself front and square and kicks a good goal.
Only 5 handballs to Russell Robertson, but his importance is measured by how many times. He's like a forward in rugby. He just hits up the ball. He just meets the ball when it comes in. What's for Woewodin here on the clearances?
It's the big margin of the match. The Kangaroos need at least 1 before half-time. 27-point margin. They're winning so many one-on-ones now, aren't they?
He'll get it again.
Johnston inside to Woewodin to Phoebe, and Phoebe goes to full forward. Farmer's at the back. He's got it. He's kicked 5, the whiz.
He's angry and happy.
I'll tell you what, he got some great assistance from David Neitz then. Neitz just backed back. He kept backing back, and he takes John Blakey out of the contest by backing back so hard. And in the end, he may have been paid the free kick, David Neitz, and I think the umpire waves play on and let Jeff Farmer go on and kick the goal.
Mick's gone. Mick's just out of steam. He's brave, he's valiant, but Mick just can't push back any. There he goes. Mick's just come off the ground.
He's only played 2 of the last 9 matches, Mick Martin. He's really short of a gallop.
Yeah, he's off the ground now. He just couldn't push back with the incoming ball.
The margin at quarter time was 10 points, and there is Mick taking in the oxygen as quickly as he can. He's saying, by heck, I reckon I'm buggered.
He's talking about his shoulder too to the doctor down here, Mickey Martin. I don't think his shoulder's all that flash.
Righto, Rosie. Keep an eye on as we go again. Harvey flicks it out. Clayton gets a hurried kick towards the half-forward line. As I said, the margin was 10 points at quarter time. It's ballooned out now to 33, and it may get bigger before quarter time. McDonald showing them how to do it. He comes away for the Demons, goes wider towards Uze and Stevens. Uze will be the first to recover. Away goes Adem Uze. taking it inboard. That's beautifully done towards Liancelli. Cops one and plays on. He's outside 50. He's inside 50 now. Worm-burning brute of a pass. Goes in towards Farmer, who tries a little magic.
I don't even think there was a 1 in 1,000 chance of that one coming off. I don't know what he was trying to... He needed to kick that back over his head out of midair.
Blakey to Bell. Peter Bell from half-back.
I wanted to see him have a go, though.
You would have been disappointed if he hadn't tried.
Great to have the excitement machines in the game as Abraham comes inboard. Finds Simpson. He looks towards half-forward. Ingerson comes back again. Kangaroos look a little dishevelled at the moment. Phoebe will keep it in play and does so. Trying to chop his way through as Daniel Ward does so with ease. The Demons have got the numbers. They could raffle this. Comes back towards Collins. Takes the hand pass from McDonald. Kicks towards half forward. McCartney came over the top. Could have almost interfered with Cameron Bruce. Clever little toe poke. Powell, you can kick another one. He steadies. He shoots. And he goals. And they're hot. Powell has 3.
Well, at the moment, the Kangaroos have been completely overwhelmed by the run of the Demons midfield. I mean, if you were to compare the stats of Shannon Grant, Anthony Stevens, Brent Harvey, and Peter Bell, who started to come into a little bit this quarter, but if you compare those with Woewodin and Uze and a couple of the others, Powell in particular, who's starting to kick a few goals now, they are just getting dominated, absolutely dominated. Liancelli, another who's getting plenty of the ball. And they've got no hope if they can't stop some of this midfield run.
Kick 7-5, 8-5, make it to 4 goals straight. In fact, they've kicked the last 5 goals of the match. It was 9-7 to 9-1 not too long ago. It's now 14-10 to 9-1. Absolutely dominating here, tearing them apart, putting them out of the competition, you'd think. Johnston bangs to fall forward. Good mark, Colbert at the back. First touch for him. Loose kick, though. Danger. Bruce and Farmer running hard with Pike. Still with the Wizard. Still with the Wizard. Well done, McCartney on hands and knees. Well done. He slaps it. Can't get rid of it. Liancelli. Simpson. Back to Liancelli. Left foot floating ball. Not long to go. Mark taken by Bruce.
Oh, you've got to go back and have a big talk from there. He'll kick from about 55 metres out on the boundary.
I just overwhelmed them with numbers in the end there on that contest. Where's Blighty?
Cameron Bruce.
Oh.
Well, they have played a magnificent first half of football. They've been every bit as good as we thought they might be. The Kangaroos have had a real red-hot go, but at half-time they're facing a huge deficit here. 14-10 to 9-1. They were just about down for the count, weren't they? At half-time, the Kangaroos. Powell, quick little one. And now the Demons go forward again. They have been brilliant through the midfield. McDonald slipped over. Still had time to get it to Powell. That's a bad sign. Kicks to centre half forward. Schwarz can't break the tackle. Farmer, he's kicked 5. He hooks it back. He's kicked 5. He's kicked 6. Half a dozen. And there'll be some more. Simpson, no handball. He had to get the handball to Stevens. He didn't use him. And the Demons, Woewodin was brilliant. And then arches his back and kicks to Schwarz at half forward. The ball comes off Pike, down to Robertson. All over him, Pickett and Pike ball up.
These kids in the Melbourne backline, Ward, Walsh, all those types of fellows, Collins, they just have no fear of failure. They've got a little bit of experience behind them, enough. Yeah, I reckon that's a play on it. It broke free in the tackle. They've just got enough experience to say, we have no fear of what the consequences are here. Let's play it by each moment.
Smash down towards Simpson. Pounces on it, but quicker was Robertson. Schwarz to tidy up the crumbs. Oh, and a little bit of finesse by David Schwarz. Goes in towards Powell. Put him under the pump. Trying to storm his way through was Walsh. Liancelli's hand pass too wide. Capuano untidy. May lose it. Look at Rigoni set to pounce. Neitz, Walsh at the bottom of the pack. Going nowhere. And there will be a bounce. But Melbourne on the verge now, as you see in replay. Powell taken down by Bell. Peter Walsh coming through. Still tucked in the forward pocket. There you can see Colbert and Grgic, Schwarz, Powell almost taken high. He was, said the umpire. And Stephen Powell, who was a goal kicker in the second quarter, he booted 3, now has the chance to add to that and stretch the Demons' lead. I would imagine Kevin Sheedy and co watching this would realise that their biggest test still lies ahead of them. Powell, inside 40 metres, was always to the right and always one ball. Just hanging on. If they're not careful, they're going to get absolutely steamrolled.
Hope that climb on the cliff has a better end result, because it doesn't look too good for the Kangaroos right now.
I reckon an avalanche is on its way.
Here's Grant. He's been rarely sighted, but he's not on his own. Kicks towards.
Oh, that's a free kick, surely.
Ozale will come back. But you're right, Carey has one of his rare touches.
He will. Matthew, Anthony Ingerson actually spoiled well early on, but after the spoil, he then tackles him to the ground when he'd actually perfected the spoil.
I reckon he assumed he'd marked it.
Yep. He's done a great job, Anthony. He's kept him to 3 kicks. He's kicked a couple of goals, but this should be number 3.
Just inside 40 metres. Not a difficult angle. Ball to the left.
I think that cortisone he had himself injected with last week, I think we're seeing the effects of that have just about worn off. That hurts, and he pulls savagely to the left to protect that.
Rigoni out of the back pocket. They're playing inspirational football. White to Rigoni, so much run on the legs. To half forward, Robertson, been a terrific competitor. Pike all over him. Umpire lets it go. Good stuff here. Ball comes out, Grgic can't get away. The Demons have kept winning all of these contests. Rigoni belts it to Neitz. Neitz was terrific, got a fist on it. Bell, who's been easily the best player for the Kangaroos, gets it to Archer. Archer kicks to say half forward. Harvey should take the mark, he does. Carey runs on. Well done, Phoebe, to hold him up. Carey comes short. Harvey goes very short to the pocket to David King, who kicked the first goal of the match, sprays it a bit, and coming in late, Capuano belts it over the line with White. Small reward now for the Kangaroos, 9-3 to 15-11.
I think Mick Martin's probably finished for the night too, fellas. He's not even stretching up with the other guys down on the boundary line, so obviously his shoulder is a lot sorer than what we first thought.
What a turnaround for the Demons. 16 wins in 98, just 6 in 99, and they're now back travelling very smoothly. Look at 17 so far and still going.
Just take them on all the time.
Take them on and meeting them. Walls with a hand pass away towards McDonald. McDonald through the middle now, kicks up towards half forward. Floating attempt to mark is unsuccessful. And McCartney comes clear. Tried his heart out as he kicks up towards the half forward line. Abraham at the back, a chance. Is swamped immediately. Nicholson going through. Phoebe is there, almost thrown out to Ingerson. He's claimed by Makepeace, and umpire Brian Sheehan decides upon a bounce.
It's amazing that they just are relentless. They just take them on with their foot pace in the back line every time.
They've had a couple of chances, the Kangaroos. I mean, you'd think even the half chances they need to make the most of to have any hope of getting back in the game.
And there's a sobering thought for Kangaroos players and supporters. Melbourne have won 20 of their 23 final quarters this year.
And the average winning margin of their final quarters, 40 points, 39 points.
Leoncelli round the body from a full-back. Simpson dropped it. Here's Woewodin. He's been dynamic, Woewodin, tonight. We're toying with them now. Donald almost down the centre wing. Looks towards half forward, towards Neitz. Pickett runs into Grgic. Could be gone. Demon fans cry as one. Powell, the advantage is going to be paid. Powell's away, puts it out in front of Robertson. If it sits, he could be in business. Cleverly done. Tried to go back to Uze. Gave away a little ground. Can go back to Robertson again, and he does.
You know, he's worked hard, Russell Robinson. This will be his first kick for the night. He's only had the 5 handballs, but he's created a couple of goals with his contesting. He's worked hard in defence as well. And look, he was one that tapped it out originally, then he created a bit of space, and it's nice to see him actually get a kick reward.
As we speak, Travis Johnston is back on the ground, and Russell Robertson.
He looks like he's actually lost a little bit of his spring over the last month, whether that's a confidence thing, because he hasn't had a great deal of the footy.
He's kicked 4 goals in his last 5 matches. He kicked 39 for the year, but he has dried up late in the season.
Here he goes. From just on 40 metres. The goal umpire does not move, and Demon fans rise as one. Robertson kicks his first and becomes the 9th Melbourne player to kick a goal.
40 goals for the year for Russell Robertson, which is a good return, but as you call Bruce, he's got 5 in the last 5 games now. He has dried up. I definitely think he's lost a bit of spring. Even here, he just keeps his feet on the ground. Normally, he just jumps straight into the oncoming player, take a big play.
Demons have kicked the last 7 goals of the match. And they lead by 50 points.
I think they're a chance to kick the next 7 too, Bruce.
Well, the Kangaroos have had a couple of chances in this quarter. You reckon they won't give up, but it's overwhelming the odds now. And a free kick to Melbourne. Just a push there. Phoebe, who's just having a terrific night. He really is.
I reckon that Kevin Sheedy be sitting in the stand thinking, I thought this team was capable of this.
I reckon that, keep to Schwarz. I'll get back to Woewodin. He has been superb. White's handball was ambitious. Well done by Colbert. Got it to Bell, got it to Simpson. Shannon Grant's had a really quiet one. Goes to Carey, tries the half volley, shoved out of the way. Nicholson on the up. Kangaroos get some numbers around the ball. Can't do much, still can't do much. Ingerson's handball to Walsh. Walsh's kick will bounce inside and then bounce out. Just a quick one on Phoebe. His long-time partner Louise Dobson was involved in the torch relay here. Yep. She didn't make the Olympic team. She was a gold medalist in '96. I'm sure that family is really tight at the moment, and Phoebe will try to go all the way here with his mates.
Rigoni, Nicholson, and to the line.
Isn't that amazing? You can hear these blokes screaming. That's the desperation of a league football. There's 50, 60,000 here, and you can still hear the combatants yelling at each other.
50 points the margin. 10 minutes remaining in the quarter. Smacked out the back to Powell. He's been influential. To centre wing. Robertson overruns at Pike and Bell. The latter, a short kick taken by Travis Johnston. Goes inboard, and that's okay because Robertson is there. You're going to have to be quick, Russell. And he is in towards the 50. At the back is Woewodin. Here he goes. Shane Woewodin caught by Simpson. Uze's lurking, so too is Farmer. And eventually a bounce is the decision. So the old Rockers in the Kangaroos lineup feeling the pinch. And speaking of old Rockers, Kiss fans informed us today that Gene Simmons, that great bass guitarist, turns 51. Could be happier than the Kangaroos at the minute.
30 metres out. Farmer can't get it. Blakey belts it away. Stevens and Johnston back to White. Still with White. Into Johnston. He's a goal kicker. He'll fancy it. He kicks it terribly. Dropped it badly onto the boot, didn't he?
Well, he's nearly kicked that off his shin to get the ball to turn like that. He may not have actually put leather on leather then. It could have been stock on leather.
Yeah, I'm staggered here. Well, there's Woewodin. He's just been consulted by the doctor. Gene, we're talking about centre-half backs, not lead guitar players, Sandy.
Off the ground by Pickett.
Gene Simmons.
Harvey couldn't stop it. White goes back. Walsh got plenty of time. Out wide. Looks good. Leoncelli goes for goal in the pocket. Robertson's got it.
This could be brilliant for the kid Robertson. The heat's out of the game. We're just starting to exit. And he's just starting to find a ball or two. And he's been the one guy, even though they've been good over the last month, he, as you call Bruce, he's flattened off. And if he can just take a few grabs here, find himself in a bit of form, that'll go well. Take the goal. Take the goal, son. Take the goal. Yep. He's out-fumbled everybody here. He has to have a shot. Well done.
Can he kick a second? Missed it.
Interesting that he'd go for a straight drop punt rather than run out and try and hook the ball around the corner. But at the moment, look, they're winning that much ball, the Demons. They're almost toying with the Kangaroos.
16-12. They've had 28 shots to 12.
David King.
In the Kiss Army.
Straight down the ground. Oh, Jeffrey White, the big flyer from the side. Couldn't take the mark through the arms of Walsh. Colbert's away, but there's been a whistle. Coming back, and it's going the way of Melbourne. Everything's going the way of Melbourne at the moment. Phoebe has it. Spearing it into half forward, and they're toying with the opposition now.
Leoncelli, give it to him.
Grgic is 55 out. Leoncelli's ignored.
I think he fancies himself to make the distance from there.
I think they all want to make sure they get a grand final berth from here, Jason.
He kicked one in the first quarter. Farmer's in the square. Grgic is going for home. It's a long kick. It's just about there. It's marked right on the line by the man who's having a purple patch. You played on, Russell. You did play on. Tried to get it across to Farmer. Gives a little ground. Melbourne may lose it here as Peter Bell bounces his way across the half-back line. Changes direction. Spearing it in towards centre half-back. And the mark is taken by Harvey. Not a lot on offer. Well smothered by McDonald. He gives it to the Wizard. Doesn't blaze away. Chips in towards full forward. And the big fly at the back by Neitz is going to be paid, and he'll shoot for goal.
Well, I'm not quite sure who the kick was intended for. Jeff Farmer chipped the ball over. It might have been Robertson in space as well, but in the end it was a little bit too long. There was a 2-on-1 for the Demons, but David Neitz, he just took the set.
In the meantime, Schwarz is off and Green is on.
Just saw the Carlton coaching panel, Sandy, looking on, and no doubt the Bombers are similarly, but Big Jack reckons tomorrow's the grand final. I reckon Big Jack might have to eat his words.
Again. Neitz. Almost directly in front. Didn't exactly have his kicking boot on earlier in the night. Started off with 3 behinds, but has now kicked his second goal.
Tell you what, if they're not in the best 2 teams in the comp right now, I'll go he. And they're on their way. They've seen enough.
They've seen enough, yes.
It's hard to imagine that they won't be competitive next week, whoever lines up against them.
This has worked out the way it should have. If you just go back over the last 10 weeks' form, definitively, Melbourne have been the second best team in the comp.
They've had a spell. They haven't exactly had their brains belted tonight.
No, fresh.
Carey's gone to the back line. The Carlton coaching panel, by the way, have just left.
They've got to get blokes like Cochrane, Makepeace. Those types of blokes need to stand up in this last quarter and a half. Give them something for next season.
Kicks towards the forward line. Makepeace will try and soccer off the ground. He may have to go again. It's taken to the line. And we've got another throw in. Daniel Ward taking it over.
Just feels now like they have played their grand final last week. They're flattened.
As Pagan and his panel, as Harvey takes it to the line.
Sorry, Sandy, it's been a long time since they kicked a goal, the Kangaroos. It would be a fair way to go in that second quarter since their last goal.
Yes, it's all been one-way traffic, basically, as McKernan tries to flick it over the back.
Good hit.
Nicholson can't get cleared. Johnson gave a little bit of a nudge. Flicked wider again, an opportunity for Grant. A high ball in towards the forward line. Smashed down in front again. They will tidy up through Ward. Comes bouncing away to Jeffrey White. The big man steadies. Looks towards Travis Johnson on half-back, and he's got him now. And the Demons will run again. They started on the last line of defence, and they got Adem with a left foot, spearing it in towards the 50 now. Trying is Robertson. He gets claimed. Colbert late on the scene. Neitz had it spent a little early. Goes again. Carey rides him into the ground. But look at the pressure. The tackling is fierce. Melbourne will come away with it. Grgic's kick is smothered. Uze breaks the tackle. Steady. Shoots towards goal and misses to the left.
Gee, that's unusual for Pikey. One thing he can do is put the bear hug on you.
He just rode the tackle well, Adem, didn't he?
Spun with it, and I reckon a bit of grease and a bit of dew falling out there. Let the hand slip off him.
Wondered, Dermot and Jace, what your thoughts on Wayne Carey to centre-half back at this stage in the game? What's to be gained about that move?
Don't know about it, but I reckon Jason would have thought, when he said just stopping the floodgates, I'd prefer him as loose man in defence. He deserves the compliment. If somebody's got to set it up without bodily pressure, it should be him.
Kick to centre wing. The mark taken by Collins to Johnson. The loose men everywhere in front of him. Takes a bounce, takes a second, gets to about 50. He's going to have a shot for goal. It was ambitious and misses. He had men in front that could probably have got a bit closer. That last goal was 17 and a half minutes into the second quarter for the Kangaroos.
Adem has to spell Anthony McDonald back on.
17 minutes into the second quarter.
That is a long time between drinks.
As Neitz coming over the top, smashes it down in front. Burton, but straight to Rigoni, back to Neitz, 51 metres out. Just pumps it in hope more than anything. And David King marks on the last line of defence. King chips wide at Clayton. He's on the half-back line, kicking towards centre wing, and Shannon Grant will look to come inboard on that left foot. Goes towards the half-forward line. The defence has been good. Scholes in front of the pack, but there'd been a whistle for holding on.
Yeah, free kick against McKernan. He got caught behind and he basically just tackled his opponent in Nicholson to get the front spot.
He's just gone about his job quietly, but very effectively. Collins in towards Ward. Got the call, and now they're going to run it through the middle. He's got Johnston there if he needs him, and he uses him now. Travis cruises up towards the half-forward line. Neitz is caught behind. McCartney takes a fine steadying mark.
Had a dig. He's had a dig, McCartney.
Blakey wide on half-back. Kicks up over the centre. I guess at some stage in the next half an hour you've got to ask the question, who was playing their last game for the Kangaroos? There could be some who will hang up the boots.
You would think that this is significant of the end of an era, so to speak, a power era. Will they trade significant players as well?
Powell, Woewodin, Liancelli all over 20 possessions for the Demons. Bell, the only Kangaroo who's had 20 plus. Green, who hasn't seen a lot of the match tonight, run down by Carey, ball up.
It'd be a thrill for Brad Green. He was the hero a couple of weeks ago, and all of a sudden he finds himself matched up by Wayne Carey in a preliminary final. That would be a buzz, wouldn't it?
Oh, I would have thought of better things to get a buzz from, Jason.
Well, knowing you're going to win the game, Dermot.
Yeah, true.
Free kick to McKernan, I think.
Thinking, here's the best player in the competition looking after me.
Yeah.
You'd pinch yourself, wouldn't you? So McKernan, he started promisingly, but it's all dried up for everybody. To King. King measures the kick to Scholl. Got it.
Now, he's looked dangerous. Whenever he's been on the ground, Jason, he's looked dangerous.
He's kicked a couple. He's lining up for his third.
And if they can afford the match up there and get Collins on him, he outstretches him in the air every time.
It's almost a kick for dignity now, isn't it? They just need one, don't they, before three-quarter time. Goalless in this quarter. 17 minutes into the second quarter since their last goal. Scholl keeps it low. Pretty good kick. He's kicked his third. He's earned his stripes. Might get himself another season, Sandy, because he's just done enough, hasn't he? 17 goals to 10.
Another protection here. David Neitz coming to the bench during that goal attempt there, and David Schwarz going back onto the ground. So Neitz has a rest, and we watch Scholey pop one through from 49. He is a beautiful kick of the thing.
And what a huge bonus it is for Melbourne to have the luxury of being able to rest those guys you can see on the bench now with the game well and truly in hand.
Yeah, the ruckman, the captain, and Uze.
And Woewodin out of the middle yet again. Here's Shannon Grant defending. His teammate who may give it away to Powell. Powell steadies. The floodgates are opening. Powell goals. Stephen, you've got number 4.
He's played some games, Stephen Powell, 21 possessions now, 4 goals, 2 he's kicked tonight, and they could have raffled that. I mean, there were 3 players that could have picked up the loose ball. You have a look after the tackle is made on Colbert by Green. He's got Grgic right behind him. Robertson to the side. I mean, they could have rattled it.
4 goals to Stephen Powell, and that one was his 50th for his career.
And Sandy, he's got 29 of them this season. He's been one of the recruits of the year, coming from the Bulldogs in the big swap. There's the Kangaroos bench. Stevens and Martin and Capuano have all won dual premierships and Big Spider in his first preliminary finals. So it hasn't been their year. Bell got it from Harvey to Simpson to Scholl. Good mark in the end. It's a good grab.
This will test him.
Yeah, it's right on the limit, you'd think. You'd have to have a lot of adrenaline flowing through, wouldn't it?
You'd only want one player in the square and he'd want to be shepherding it through.
Could he kick a 4th? He's been a bit of a shining light in a cameo role tonight. Got under it. Not going to make it. Or is it? It bounced back in, I think, and hit Peter Bell. And goes through from behind.
It spun like a lob wedge, didn't it? It just sucked back off the turf when it basically was bouncing right on the line.
Well, we
How
called
stiff
it.
are you?
It had to clear the bloke who was being shepherded under it.
Well.
Yeah.
It's just...
Oh, that's stiff.
Tiger Woods couldn't have sucked it back better than that.
Oh, I think he could have. Powell at half-back. Tiger can do anything at the moment.
He's kicked a torp.
He goes to the outer side with that torp. Archer leads in the race. The Norm Smith medalist of days gone by. Not going to get another chance this year. Up towards the half-forward line. Ward and Walsh crunched. Taken high. And he's going to get the free kick on half-back. Daniel Ward gesticulating a little. It's the last thing to worry about now with a grand final just a week away. Takes the kick towards Simmons. The big man marks on the half-back flank. Simmons will have one of the last kicks of the quarter. In fact, it is. He won't even know.
Yep. Well, Dennis is playing for pride just as we were looking at that last kick. He had nowhere to go and chip it across the ground. Everybody was man for man. He's even thrown the match theory out the window here. He sent the runner out, said get a man each.
4-goal quarter, Derby, for Melbourne. The Kangaroos battling with just 1 goal, 3.
So the final term, the Demons, you'd reckon, are half an hour away from a grand final. Walsh's quick kick, a bit up and under. The numbers were with the Kangaroos. The ball runs away. Rigoni tries to spin with it. Abraham's been very quiet. Produced some magic last week against the Hawks. And there is a free kick to the Kangaroos.
Slung after he got rid of it, Winston Abraham.
Comes out wide, kicks it well to Carey. Carey at about 50, decides to go for it. He's kicked it very, very well. And they've got the first goal. Carey's kicked 3.
Just loitered down the other side, the other flank, as the ball got pushed through a lot of heavy traffic. Winston Abraham won the free kick, and that's where all the traffic was between him and the goals. But Wayne Carey ambled down the opposite flank, ambled to the kick, and
he turned around and started
loaded.
jogging back to the centre as soon as his follow-through was complete.
Yes,
that was unbelievable.
That was 4 runs as soon as he struck it.
3 to Carey, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and now that one as White wins it, but it's McKernan out of the middle, down towards the half-forward line. Abraham claim, ripped to the ground. McDonald applying a tackle once again. It comes back to White. Had the height, but that was all. Off to McDonald. White held, and he's going to get the free kick. Been very good. He's such an exciting player. Goes wide at a guy, Rigoni. Rigoni looks towards Neitz at half-forward. Green was there as well. Schwarz, clever little poke over the back. That was clever, but the tackle was good too. And Brian Sheehan comes in and decides it was a line ball, will have a bounce. Green was locked up. Locked up very well.
There should have been a free kick to Jason McCartney in that contest. David Schwarz stretched his jumper about 1.5 feet.
25 metres out from the scoring zone. Schwarz locks it up once more. McCartney at the bottom.
Archer's gone to centre half forward for the Kangaroos.
Simmons has a spell. And the big men for the Kangaroos also resting, including Matthew Burton. King tumbles a punt to the outer side. Blakey and Uze. Uze and Blakey. And Travis Johnson swooping on it. He glides, but he gets caught by Archer, who gives it to Clayton. Around the body, he bends it up towards half forward, and Kernan takes the mark. Wants to go on with the job, Corey. Plays on now, eludes one. 65 out, he heads towards Scholl, who marks strongly in front.
Outstretches Collins again on the lead. Tell you what, they've come out with a bit of venom after three-quarter time. I wouldn't mind making a bet that Dennis has given an ultimatum here. And a few people have had it laid on the line because they have got teeth again, the Kangaroos, for this opening 3 or 4 minutes.
Scholl's one who hasn't been disgraced. He's kicked 3. Carey also has 3. Peter Bell has 2. Both of those came in the second term. Carey has 1 so far this quarter, and now Scholl has got his 4th.
Well done, Scholl.
Bizarre and tragic accident to him early on, and he's been on the wrong foot ever since that. He's done a great job even to get back. Terrific vision by Rigoni to Woewodin, who loads it up. Could Jeffrey Farmer take a mark? He was up very high. Down to Carey. What did you say last week, Sandy?
Outdoors and cross-check.
That's it. Yeah. Shannon Grant, who's had a very, very quiet night. He was terrific last week. He's had an average year.
8 possession, that.
And he hasn't had a good night tonight. But last year he won the Norm Smith. Well done, Archer. Bell and Abraham. Abraham possibly could have left it for Bell. Bell on hands and knees. There's still a bit of pride and spirit here, isn't there? Makepeace gets it out. Johnny Blakey, 50 metres out. It's a good kick. It's going and going. And Craig Scholl, has he taken the mark? He has. He's going to kick 5. I'll tell you what, right now, somebody in the crowd would think we've still got a chance. Somebody out there would be saying, yeah, we can still do it.
Yeah.
Does anybody up in the box agree with them?
I think they can still win this quarter, but that's about as far as it goes. But look, he's been sensational. He's actually really exploited the height difference there, hasn't he?
He kicks his 5th.
Well done, Charlotte.
Who's really had it in cruise control for some considerable time. Rigoni out of the middle. Oh, taken high was Daniel Ward.
Ingerson's gone to Scholl down in the back line as well.
Jason mentioned earlier, fellas, too, Scholl is a maligned player and he does get taken off a lot. He spent that nearly the whole third quarter on the bench, yet he still kicked his 5 goals.
Yep.
Ward kicks long up towards the half-forward line. Rigoni was lurking, but he didn't get a chance at it. McDonald used the body nicely for Wald. He's clear. Look away, hand pass. Woewodin, you deserve a goal from a standing start. He pumps it long, but away to the right. 41 points the margin. Shane Woewodin has been sensational tonight with 19 kicks, 8 hand passes and 6 marks.
Has he done overstep?
Yep. And he's gone over.
Let's have another look at it.
Does sum up the night for David King and the Kangaroos.
Oh, yeah.
Craig Scholl
in the square.
Sorry, Sandy. Craig Scholl has a new opponent in Brent Grgic. Matthew Collins has come off.
Right in the square. Schwarz leaning. There's another one. Oh, the youngster's done it again.
Got a goal from nowhere, didn't he, Green?
Yep.
Official attendance 63,937. That's a great return. The AFL will be pretty pleased with that. Terrific turn up. Robertson marks between centre wing and half forward.
10th possession coming up for him.
He's got Powell on his own.
Shannon Grant. As a backman, I wrote about it a couple of weeks ago. He's a good all-round player in the midfield, push forward, but as a backman, he just gets lost. And he got well forward of Powell and just lost where he dropped in behind him then.
What a game he's having. He would have played in a preliminary final of the Bulldogs without this result. He's into his first grand final. Can he kick a 5th goal? He's kicked it terribly.
Missed everything.
He's actually, for a bloke that's kicked 4 goals tonight, he's had some shabby kicks, hasn't he? But he's had some good ones as well.
Tell you what, the ones that are going through, he's given a ride to.
Here's David King. Oh, David. The last couple of minutes have not been memorable for the man wearing number 34. And here's the Wizard.
He won't like that. He'll 150 there. He's not going to get it. less space around the mark when we go to it again. Yeah, never eyes for the ball, Peter Bell, but pretty soft in the end. Yeah, right decision just to keep him there. There's a lot of space around the man on the mark, Byron Pickett, and Jeff Farmer normally would run around, but if there's one bloke in the league he won't take on, Byron Pickett.
2 in the first quarter, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. And now to the last quarter. Home, 1 in the fourth. 7 without a miss for the Wizard.
As we said earlier, 5 times this year he's kicked 7 or more. Matthew Lloyd's the only other player in the competition that can boast such a record with those high numbers this year. So it's been a tremendous return by Farmer. And the Demons march on. Walsh out of the centre. Overrun by Schwarz. Pike gets it back to Simpson. Simpson kick, good one, to Abraham. He's got a couple of shorties. He's going to go to Shoal. Good mark. I mean,
he's in form.
He really is.
It's ironic. He is in form, isn't it?
He's always been a very good leader. He reads the ball well and he leads hard and direct. Marks the ball well out in front of him.
Remember the players pushed him back into the team last week. They had their choice, we were told, and they wanted Shoal back. They just can't get the right matchup for him, can they? They've tried a few.
Well, Ingerson's gone to him.
Well, what an extraordinary little tailor to be if he can kick a 6th here. King kicked 7 a couple of weeks ago when they got hammered by the Bombers. But could Shoal kick number 6? It's a good kick.
That's beautiful.
He's kicked 6 goals. 3 of them in the last quarter. But if somebody told you at the start of the match that Craig Shoal's going to get 6, you'd say, how far did we win by?
Yep. It's a bit like the lone hand performance up forward of David King a couple of weeks ago when he kicked 7.
He's actually played the position exceptionally well. He's let out when he has to. And pretty safe hands. He double grabbed that one, but he made it safe before he took it on the chest. Bang, and back down there.
8 goals this year, Sandy. He's got 6 tonight, so he's almost doubled his score in one night's work.
Carey back at the other end of the ground. Here's McKernan. It's a horrendous bounce for them. Picked up by Powell. It's a high ball. White gets underneath it. Jumped just a fraction early. Makepeace could have been taken high. Powell sockers off the ground and goes straight to McCartney. Oh, well smothered by Powell. But they'll get another chance. Lee Colbert's on the end of the hand pass. Colbert comes around the body towards centre wing. There was Woewodin. He is knocked up winning that ball out of the centre. And Archer had no other intention other than taking that straight over the line. What a game by Shane Woewodin, the master in the middle tonight.
Watch out for the Ox coming through. Lands on the shoulder first. Good decision by the umpire.
Archer a little poke to McKernan, tries to soccer off the ground to Bell. Peter Bell caught and well caught. Walsh loses it. Makepeace gets his kick hurriedly. Up to the half-forward line. Big pack of players. Waiting down is McDonald. Gets the hand pass away now. Trying to chop his way through was Rigoni. Gives it off to Travis Johnson. Clever with vision. He goes up towards the half-forward line. Powell's having a purple patch. Bending it back for Grgic. If it sits, he's in business. Watch out, because the Wizards in town. Caught this time and loses it. Pickett has a victory. Pickett gets clear and the Kangaroos away to Blakey on the outer side. The 34-year-old pumps it in towards Abraham, who marks in the middle.
Jeff White off too, so you would think he might be finished for the night.
Yeah, Roosie, just give him a spell. Let him rest for next week. Abraham, a big kick up towards the forward line. Strong mark, taken by a strong man in Glenn Archer.
And when he worked Phoebe under the ball there. Phoebe's a running player of around 6 foot to 6'1". Archer, the 6 foot mark, just a shade under, but plays like he's 6'3". He was always going to win that once he controlled the body joint.
Looking for his first goal of the night. Recently joined the 100 club as far as career goals is concerned. From 25, he makes no mistake. Archer gets his first.
He's just a must for next week. To be fit and well. Leoncelli, Clayton, Powell over the top, picked up by Bell. Terrific tackle by Johnston. Good decision, I reckon, in the end. Allowed to play on. Archer was hard at it. I think it's a free kick to the Demons. Grgic, is it, or Rigoni? Rigoni, yep, Rigoni.
Probably got a little poke in the eye, did he, or something?
Looks a bit concussed.
He stumbled to Brian Sheehan there. I think Brian Sheehan went for the, hands off.
I think
he's a tough kid. He must have got a good clip. Oh, yeah, that is a solid hit. That is a real solid hit. He is a genuinely tough kid, this boy.
so. Grgic obviously concussed here.
Point of the shoulder, bang.
So as Grgic comes from the ground, the game goes on. Robertson around the corner. Schwarz, McCartney. McCartney was good against the Bombers when they got slaughtered. And again tonight, he's battled away, hasn't he?
I reckon he's won his position. I think he's been good value again, Jason McCartney. Grgic coming to the bench. Collins returns. He'll have a go at the other end this time.
And every little thing from a Melbourne player's point of view in the last quarter is important for next week. You would just hate to have something that's going to stop you from playing next week right now, wouldn't you?
Jeff White on the sidelines. Grgic on the sidelines. McCartney and Schwarz both using their strength. Powell has been very, very effective. That one was high. And it'll be a free kick. Makepeace. Blakey. The new and the old. John Blakey gives it away to Martin Pike, who's running across half-back. Thought about changing direction, then flicks it high up towards Carey on centre wing. They all come over the top, and smashing it down was Peter Walsh. Picking up was Pickett, who tumbles a punt to half forward. Chopped off once again by Ward. Done pretty well off to Uze. Uze, chip over the top, just going short. Short but effective to McDonald. Melbourne came into this game with an unchanged lineup, a settled lineup, and the one-handed attempt by Robertson not paid. It looks as though they, at the moment, will come out of this game unscathed. Oh, Farmer clever to Powell. Very clever by the Wizard. Finish it off with a goal. Look at this. Bend it back. Back it comes. The Wizard is in town. And he'll be there next week. Centre stage.
Absolutely brilliant from the first few minutes of the match.
He took on the bloke who mastered him last time.
So he's chasing Gary Lyon, who has kicked 10 goals in a finals match for the Demons, so he's only 2 behind the record, the club record for the Demons.
Schwarz out to King off the side of the boot. Walsh and Ward, gee, they're a good couple, aren't they?
They just run so hard, don't they? And look, even the kid Collins, who's had some goals kicked on him at the other end by Scholl, when he's at half-back, he just takes on the opposition as well, and he will run forward. So you're getting value out of him, even when he's had a few kicked on him.
McCartney and Schwarz. Stevens and Walsh.
They're flamboyant backmen, aren't they? They just have a dip at going forward. Here he is, Walsh. He's a good player.
At the back was Colbert. Bell's been terrific. Stevens in short. Grant back to Bell. Bell's little kick forward. Neitz in front of Carey. Carey got hold of him. Neitz his handball away. Abraham, but he got it hassled away. McDonald to Phoebe. Phoebe goes with a little one to Robertson. Got in. Good stuff by Melbourne. Keeping their head late in the game. Going to the right option. Really professional effort here by Phoebe, wasn't it?
He just held onto the ball until he worked out that Russell Robinson had turned Cochrane around and then came back at him with the lead.
And Dermot, you reckon that every goal Robertson kicks tonight is going to help him? Ragoni's back on too. That's terrific. Every goal Robertson kicks tonight will help him for next week.
That's where the real value for the Melbourne team is at the moment. Get there. As a forward,
So he's kicked 2.
Yeah, they've got a few big cats up there, Schwarz and Neitz. Whether they need to use Schwarz down back line in the grand final is dependent on the opposition, one, and secondly, if Robertson can regain his early season form, it gives them another bigger option. He's not a terribly big bloke, but he plays tall. It'll give them another string to the bow above the head in terms of marking prowess. Farmer's going to be Farmer. this is just pure value for the Demons. If he can get some confidence up here, come back. Home.
The Kangaroos season will be over in 7.5 minutes. Simmons doing the ruck work, taken by Makepeace out of the middle, wide to the outer side in search of Harvey, but he's beaten for it by Phoebe. Well, he's going to enjoy this. He's going to get another chance to play in a final. He's the only one left from 88. Travis Johnson is caught. He's the young man who'll get the chance to play in his first one as well. Blakey gets the hand pass away. Up towards Carey. Tried to edge out with the body, but was unsuccessful. Abraham through without the football. Melbourne start on a roll again. It's Schwarz out of the middle. Oh, look at them coming down the ground. Peter Walsh goes inside once more. Back it comes to McDonald. McDonald gives it away to Uze. Uze slams it towards goal, but he's away to the left.
Had several candidates out wide to receive too, but just threw it on the boot.
Do you start to worry now, fellas, if you're a Kangaroos fan? Out of the 22 picked tonight, there's 14 over 25, and if you look at the Demons, there's only 6. Where's the next tier of Kangaroos players going to come from?
Good question, Paul Roos. 1 goal 4, incidentally, to Adem. McCartney comes back in. Simmons with the height, pokes it back to Travis. Here goes Travis Johnson. World-burning pass, and Robertson again is going to get the chance to show his wares in front of goal.
Neitz has gone to centre-half back. Now, in a grand final, he might be used there as well. So Neil Danaher's giving him a little bit of backline prep in case that is the situation. Oh, that is scrubby, isn't it?
It's very kind of you to call it a worm-burning pass too, Sandy.
There are a couple
Very
of other
kind.
adjectives I could have put in.
Now, I hope the kid kicks it. Look, this is the buzz at the moment. Whether this kid can find form, whether he can get confidence out of this and go into a grand final thinking, I'm a man.
He's had 6 kicks, 6 marks, 6 handballs, and he's a demon.
The 21-year-old Tasmanian is kicking for his 3rd, and he's missed again. That is 2 goals, 2 to Russell Robertson. 22-17, plays 15-4.
Zones up. That's really protecting the corridor here. They're conceding it out wide. They get picked off up the middle.
Goes out wide, but the numbers are with the Demons. Belted away. Harvey's little give. Makepeace's kick. Blakey has to wait underneath. You know that he'll be courageous, and he is. Play on call, was it? Handball comes back to Harvey. Harvey's handball clever enough to Archer. Archer at centre wing, goes to centre half forward. Scholl front spot. Belted away by Ingerson. Well read by Abraham. Nowhere to go, though. Carey comes out. Doesn't come out with it, though. Hands and knees push forward. Demons with the chances where they've been so good. Johnson gets it from Powell. Johnson's kick. Could Dragoni run onto it? Makepeace tries to get it. He does. Little handball away by Clayton to Pike. Now he's got a paddock in front of him, Pike. One bounce. Not sure. Runs a fair way. Shannon Grant provides a shepherd. Front spot was Scholl. Ball comes to Archer. Archer hooks it back. Blakey's going to get a late goal.
Now, I've been watching Blakey for the last few minutes. He handballs over.
Scholl's going to get 7. Scholl's got 7.
I've been watching John Blakey for about the last 4 or 5 minutes, and he has worked tirelessly. He's run through the lines from half-back all the way through. And once again, on this play.
We saw a shot of the bench a moment ago, and we saw Capuano and Burton on the bench. I've got to tell you something that's worried me for a lot of the year with the Kangaroos. They continue to play 3 big men. McKernan spends half the game in the ruck. You've also got Burton and Capuano. Now, if you look at their stats tonight, and it's been a familiar story for a lot of the year, Capuano's had 3 possessions, no marks. Burton, 2 handballs, no marks, no goals. It just limits the versatility of their bench, and you maybe think perhaps an extra runner would have been better. They need either Burton or Capuano to stand up as their main ruckman, to alternate with Corey McKernan and not have to use the both of them.
They don't get full return from a player for, say, Capuano. Limited time.
Sandy Powell's had 6 centre clearances tonight. Woewodin's had 5.
This is pretty tame stuff we're seeing between Shannon Grant and Anthony McDonald.
They've been effective, haven't they? Powell and Woewodin.
And Walsh comes in.
So McKernan stands his ground. Johnston got a bad bounce, but Travis goes again. He almost got it out. Speak of the devil, here's Powell once more, ripping it out of the middle down towards the Wizard. Couldn't take the mark, and effective spoil by Lee Colbert. Sees it over the line.
I tell you what, he's a rare left footer, Stephen Powell. He's not a pretty kick. Most of them are. Yeah. That was a dead set mongrel, that one that he kicked forward.
Now watch the whiz here, because Byron Pickett is limping, and I reckon the whiz could explode if the ball makes its way out the back. We could see him run onto it again. He's definitely hamstrung at the moment through some injury, Byron.
He's got 8 at the moment. There's Farmer, and look out, he's tucked on the line. Doesn't get any space to produce that little bit of magic. Cochrane taking him to the line. In front of a huge Demon supporter base, we've got a throw in. Farmer lurking down in front, Pickett right there with him. Schwarz trying to poke it down his throat. Balls through his arms to Grgic. Back to him again. Can he snip another one? Oh, so close. And his first blemish of the night. 8 goals, 1. He could be dragged for that.
He blotted the copybook.
8 goals, 1, Bruce.
Poor old Byron can't get out of a trot at the moment.
King floats it. Hands by Blakey. He's had a good last quarter, Blakey. You reckon he's putting his hand up again? I want to go one more year, Dennis. I'll only be 35. Little kick by Archer. Out wide. Here's the other bloke that's putting his hand up. Scholl to the pocket. Left foot bouncing. Well done by Ward. You can see that Ward and Walsh have got an insatiable appetite for the footy, haven't they?
Yeah, they run with it.
They're on here. McDonald to Johnston. So confident, the Demons.
They use up every player, don't they? They're not scared of just chipping.
Back to Walsh.
And again.
He'll push it wide to Leoncelli. A methodical build-up. Schwarz slipped at the wrong time.
I reckon he's got thongs on.
McCartney belts it. Could Scholl get an 8th? Well done, Ingerson. Tackle comes on. Push forward. Neitz's little handball to Walsh, to Neitz. Neitz through the centre. Good kick to Robertson. He's got him out wide. Can he turn Cochrane inside out? Cochrane hasn't got him. Robertson's kicked 2, and he's kicked the 3rd.
Well, as cocky as that sounds, I'm glad the kid's doing that, because what we want to see is his confidence go up, Russell Robertson. We want to see him enter a grand final thinking, gee, I am important to this side, and I've got a bit of form, I'm running into a bit of form, and it's made for me.
The good thing, they're all going to feel good about themselves next week.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
about every player is going to go in confidently. The whole team will feel good about themselves.
Should have made that one stick to Stewie Cochrane.
And coming straight off as a result. He just tried to tackle too high. You've got to be a little bit closer to the hips, around the centre of gravity.
Margin out to 56 points. Neil Danaher, a wry smile. As I said earlier, went to the movies today. I wonder what he saw.
Gladiator.
56 points the margin. Blakey out of the middle gives it away. They're still hanging on, the Kangaroos, as Archer will have a shot at goal. Almost 50 out, but with only 2.5 minutes remaining in their season.
He had 5 possessions in the back pocket until half-time, Glenn Archer, and he's lining up for his 16th now. He's looked better up forward in the last quarter.
One goal to his credit. That was kicked earlier in this term. He kicks from 48. That's a lovely looking kick for goal by Glenn Archer. He's got his second. So Archer joins the multiple scorers, take out Craig Scholl. Scholl, of course, has had an excellent game with 4 goals in this last quarter and 7 for the match.
26 possessions to Peter Bell. And you take him out of the midfield, which is what some people are suggesting might happen for season 2001. And if this is their final side, they wouldn't like that going into next year.
Well, they're in front in the last quarter. You talked about Dermot at the start of this term. They'd love to win the last turn. They've reduced the margin by 8 points. Been a lot of goals kicked. Ball coming back. Stevens and Schwarz. Schwarz, good vision.
Clever.
Johnston wide. He's interesting with the ball, Johnston. Sometimes you wonder if he sees the first option. Leoncelli certainly does. He belts it long to fall forward. Green from the side. Pike. Well done. He's got Blakey. said before, having a pretty big last quarter, John Blakey. Have a look at this.
A bit of pace still.
To Archer, run down by Ingerson. Phoebe.
That's a 4-on-2 there, Bruce.
Woewodin over the line. The two respective coaching panels. Just wasn't the Kangaroos' year. So many things went wrong at the start for them.
Yep.
From Anthony Stevens, Ryan Pagan, which put Dennis under enormous pressure, I think, early in the year. Martin Pike, a couple of indiscretions. They just never got balanced up, did they?
No.
Pike misses it, gets a second crack, belts it hard and high, Scholl front spot, Ingerson all over the back, Simpson tries to carry it forward, Ward at the back, finds the line, boundary throw.
Craig Scholl just 1 goal away from rewriting the club's record books as being the leading goal kicker in a finals match outright. Carey, Allison and Scholl have all kicked 7 goals in a final. Here's Simmons and McKernan. Corey is frustrated.
Yeah, he paid a shepherd there. He held down Simmons while Blakey came over the top.
So Troy Simmons to take the kick. 22-year-old from Box Hill heads towards centre wing in the sliding ox. To half forward. Up towards Robertson, who's just growing in confidence as this game progresses. He's called a play on now. That one wasn't one of his best kicks, although Abraham may lose it. He goes again, Winston, and he threw that out with the one hand. Well, that's what it looked like from here as Neitz takes a diving defensive mark across half-back. He'll steady to the outer side. Melbourne through Daniel Ward has the last kick, and the Demons are back in a finals race. Back in the grand final. Their first since 1988, and a chance to win their first flag since 1964.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.